Hey, welcome to the AskTimChin show here on YouTube. Episode, we think, number 4. We may have skipped 4. This may actually be 5. We're not really clear.
Figure it out later.
I'm not really good at math. And this is the show where you can send in questions. You can twit me questions. Is that right? Tweet, excuse me, twit. I was thinking about that English guy I met yesterday. What a twit. Anyway.
It's at Coach Tim Chin.
At Coach Tim Chin. You can tweet me your biggest challenge questions or just, whatever crosses your mind. Political, religious, business, mainly business. You can also mail your questions or fill out the form at AskTimChin.com. That's C-H-I-N. That's the correct way for Chin to be spelled, not C-H-E-N, like my friend Chin Liang in Topeka, Kansas. Dude, spell your name right. But it's AskTim. Can you screw up Tim? T-I-M. Chin, C-H-I-N.com. Send us your questions and please be as clear as you can. Don't write one word like, I shouldn't say that word. Let us know what your biggest challenge is. Maybe what you've tried already, what you're thinking about doing next, and then let me clean it up for you and give you the right answer. This is a show where there are no wrong answers. We're right all the time. All right, 99.9.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
We try.
After many mistakes. All right, so we answer your questions and try to help you grow your business. You can follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/referral teacher or at timothyachin.com, where you can see all the 3 companies, our mastermind company, our networking company, and our coaching company. Our goal is to coach every business leader in America for free for 30 days. 30. You can go to 30daysofreecoaching.com, fill out the form, and we'll drop you on our coaching program.
All right, that's enough ads.
We have done one for like 2 shows.
All right, so let's get right into the questions.
All right.
This person wants to know, how do I determine my target market for my business?
Oh, how much time we got?
All day.
Okay, that's maybe a 1 episode thing. Okay, so, oh man, I knew you were going to answer me that question. I might need to take another yellow pill. So first of all, there's a misnomer out there that you should be selling and marketing to your ideal client. Get that out of your mind. What I advocate is that you should be selling to your perfect client. And there's a difference between ideal and perfect. Let me give you an example. So I'm in a networking meeting and an XYZ makeup person stands up and said, the ideal client for me today is somebody with skin. Duh. Without skin, there's no makeup. But if she had a unique product that really worked miracles on acne, the perfect client for that product, I don't have acne. So, I got skin. I don't have the acne, never have, thank goodness. But there's a perfect client and an ideal client. I want to work in the perfect space. So how do you determine your perfect client? Well, first of all, I'm going to go to my current database and I'm going to look at all my clients. I'm going to say, if every client could be just like Micah or whatever, I'd want to work with just those people. Because keep in mind, 20% of your clients will generate 80% of your complaints. So the first thing you do, you should segment your database into A, B, C, or D. Now, everyone's going to have their own definition of A's and their own definition of B's. But some of you are sending your newsletter out to your worst clients. Stop it. All right? Here's a rule of thumb. If you were to put every American or everybody on the planet on an alpha scale from A to Z by how much they earn a year. So maybe if you earn $500,000 a year, you're an A. You know what? Not many people make $500,000 a year. So let's do this. You're an A if you make $250,000 a year. There's more of those, but still not very many. If you make $200,000 a year, you're a B. If you make $150,000, you're a C. If you make $100,000, you're a D. If you make $75,000, you're a C. All the way down to food stamps, welfare, and homeless as a Z. Okay? And now here's a little rule of thumb to think about. 90% of people, wherever they are on the scale, I'm not judging, I don't care where you are. I'd love to help many of you get lifted up off that bottom rung. But most people will either refer 1 up or 2 down. So if I'm making $200,000, I may refer up to $250,000 or down to $125,000. Think about it. We live in the same neighborhoods. Our homes cost about the same. We drive the same cars. Our kids go to the same school. Okay? And so now the neutralizer of that, Mike, and by the way, Michael Horner, my partner here, and the neutralizer might be church, because you could be in a Sunday school or Bible study group with wealthy and poor, old and young. So that can neutralize it. But when we live on the same cul-de-sac, and our kids go to the same private school, and everybody on the cul-de-sac CEOs, and we're all friends, we're all at the country club together, we all play golf together, who am I going to refer to? Those people. Let me give you a prime example. This goes back 15, 18, probably 22, 23 years ago. I was an executive with a Fortune 500 company here in America. I had a very good lifestyle. Country club membership, cul-de-sac, exclusive neighborhood, brand new cars, kids in private school, everything. Our neighbors, 2 doors down, Craig and Elaine, haven't seen them in 20 years. That's how good of friends we were. Craig was the CEO of a company. We made about the same income. They drove new cars. Our houses cost about the same. And we played golf 2 to 3 times a week together. So one night I'm up in my office and my former wife, I hear on the door. I'm thinking, don't let, it's 9 o'clock, it was late. And she opened the door, there's a knife salesman there. Well, normally she knew enough to get rid of the knife salesman, but the knife salesman said, Craig and Elaine sent me over and said, I need to talk to you. Well, they were our best friends.
Right.
So guess who we let in the house? Hour later, she bought like $100 worth of knives because Craig and Elaine did. See, there's a transfer of influence. So, first of all, segment your database, and for everybody, an A client's different. In the insurance business, which I was in for 18 years, the average household has 7 policies in it. I wanted to have 4. You were probably an A client if I had 2 cars, a home, a life insurance policy, or health, whatever. Okay? Single car, you were a D. Single car, who were they? 21 years old, living at home, reckless driver, just learning to drink and drive, whatever. Okay, see what I mean? So, some of you will keep those D's and C's around your database. The D's are off. And if you can't get a C to a B pretty quick, they're off. I mean, you vote them off the island. Because D's are going to refer you D's. And on the alpha scale, they're probably like a Q. I mean, you want a bunch of 21-year-olds as your target market? Maybe if you sell bikini bathing suits. And then it's just women. Unless you're a cross-dresser. Then it might be. No offense, I just don't think many guys look good in thongs personally. My point is this: you're not for everybody. Quit wasting your marketing dollars on everybody. Okay? So I'm going to look for what my A's have in common. Would I love everyone to be that A? And then I'm going to say, where are do they come from what referral source? Let's say my A clients are mainly teachers. Let's say they're first responders, firemen, whatever. You're only 2 steps then away from really being successful. Because if let's use teachers for example. I asked a group of teachers last week, who's the number 1 influence in your life? And 2 or 3 of them looked at me and said, our principal. Okay, cool. So all I have to do is find out a way to get in front of the principal, and then I'm only 1 step away. And if I can create an irresistible offer for him to refer me to the teachers, I'm successful. So you have to define your perfect client. Then you want to find out who's an influencer over that group of whatever, geographical, work-related, whatever. And then the only goal is coming up with an irresistible offer. We need to do a whole segment on just how do you create the irresistible offer, because I don't want to do that today. And so most people, though, have not analyzed. So A, B, C, or D in your client. Same way with your referral partners. A, B, some people say, well, an A referral partner gives me a referral once a year. That's not an A on my scale. An A on my scale is at least 1 a month. So you want to work in the A zone, not the D zone, not the Q zone. You want to work in the A zone. So identify your perfect client, not your ideal client. Identify the influencers over them, and then create an irresistible offer.
Very cool.
All right?
Yep. All right. Now, next question. At what dollar amount is it safe to bring on new employees?
I don't know. You tell me. You have employees, and then I'll tell you whether you did it right or not.
All right.
So real quick, tell our listeners what you do.
So
what company you own.
I own a company called Vicky Virtual. We do virtual receptionist services for small businesses. So we're basically the in-between between basically hiring a full-time person and outsourcing to India.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Who was your first virtual assistant?
My sister.
Oh! Was that expensive?
No.
Okay.
She worked for free for a little bit for us.
And then what was your deciding factor before you added number 2?
Could we pay for her?
So kind of like this person. So did you bring them on before you needed them, or did you wait till your sister was overloaded and then brought them on?
It was more of a dollar issue for us. So we had to make sure we were going to have the money to pay for the person. So we had to make sure the clients were going to keep coming in, so that we had.
So you want to make sure that your pipeline was predictable,
right? Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I don't use a dollar amount. Okay. You have there's 2 philosophies. You can staff up before you need them.
If you're funded, which we aren't.
Pardon me.
That's if you have the money to do that.
Okay.
Which sometimes you don't.
Yeah. Who most businesses are underfunded when they start. Okay. But if you've done really well and you've kept your profit costs low, sometimes you can hire in advance of need. Now you don't want to hire too far in advance of need, because sometimes you can lose customers and clients when you're not giving good customer service when you wait to hire till you just have to.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you have to be, and by the way, your employees get paid before you, if you're the owner. Have you ever missed a payroll in a year and a half?
Never.
Me either. Okay? So, you may miss your car payment, but your employees can't miss theirs. Or that whole motivation thing we did in episode 1, that's out the window. Here's how I view an employee. I expect them to cost me money for a year. So let's say that their salary, just for round number, is $2,000 a month. Okay? When I'm looking at them, I'm looking at, they're going to cost me $24,000. In other words, they're not going to produce quick enough to cover their salary.
Right.
By month 18, I want them breaking even. So if I'm paying them $30,000, I want them bringing in $30,000. I'm not making any money yet, but they're not costing me any. If I really like them, I just like them around for laughs and grins. Okay. So my point is, and then by month 24, they need to be making me wildly profitable. That's just how my view is. I rarely, unless you're in a high commission, high return field, maybe like real estate or something like that, an employee's not going to make you money. You have training time if they're new to the field. You've got an investment of, like I said, training, adaptation, learning the market, and that takes time. And if you start putting pressure on them, you better produce more, especially above the expectations you gave them in the hiring process, then you're going to lose them. So again, yes, you have to pay them, but there's a fine line. I always wanted to hire people a little bit early, so I could train them for 3 or 4 months, because we could see the business coming, so that by the time the business hit, I wasn't training them when there was 100 phone calls a day. I was training them when we had 30 and another staff member. Does that make sense?
It's always better if you can predict the need and have it in place than to wait until your current team is overloaded.
So basically what I did, Mike, I was saying, I'm not getting a raise for the next 12 months because my raise is going to them.
Right.
And I believe that people are the best investment you make.
Absolutely.
Did that answer the question?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, this has been episode number 4 here on the YouTube show, AskTimChin. If you want to submit your questions, please do. Also, respond below. What's your hometown?
Hometown.
Where you were born? I was born in Miami. Where were you born?
Wichita, Kansas. Yeah, exciting.
I went there every other week for a year and a half.
I'm sorry.
Had a couple of decent restaurants, not many.
There's more now.
Some good people
it's
over there.
starting to become a much better place.
Yeah, I was a West Sider. You were either East Sider or West Sider.
I grew up in Goddard. Way
Oh,
west.
I have a the person that helped me start my networking company is an attorney in Goddard.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I think somebody's at my front door.
All right.
Hey, we'll tune in next time for number 4 or 5,
Whatever.
whatever.
Wouldn't it be funny if I forgot to press record all this time?
I hope they've all been done.